Flank watch operators are super important for protecting your team's backs while you push the bomb site. Seeing how vital these operators are, you want to be picking the right one for the job. So in today's video, I'll be going through the 3 flank watch operators, those being Nomad, Gridlock, and Zero, and I'll be rating them out of 10 in 4 key categories. Those categories are gadget, loadout, secondary gadget, and versatility, same as usual. Then at the end of the video, I'll be adding up their scores to come to a verdict. So make sure you watch until the end to find out who is the best flank watch operator. To start the video off, I'll be going over Nomad since she has been in the game for the longest period of time. Nomad's gadget is the air jab. These are small electronic projectiles that when a defender walks within line of sight of them, they will go off, sending the defenders flying back. When this happens, a loud audio cue is also produced, alerting your teammates of an impending flank. Now, don't think this leaves the flank perfectly safe though, because a defender can easily get up after hitting an air jab. Also, depending on your air jab placement, defenders can alt walk under your air jab and shoot it before it goes off. This is why when using Nomad, you should set up a player to watch the locations of all of her air jabs. This allows you to actually pick up a kill on the knocked over defender rather than them just running away after setting off your air jabs. However, I would argue that Nomad's best use isn't even flank watch, it's preventing runouts. If you place her air jabs outside windows or above doorways leading outside, you can give yourself a chance to fight back against an overly aggressive defender. Overall, taking into account how much work you have to put in to get the most out of her gadget, I'll be giving her a 7 out of 10 in the gadget category. Now moving on to her loadout. She has the choice between the ARX assault rifle and the AK-74M as primary options, and the PRB-92 and 44 Magnum semi-auto as secondary options. The ARX is by far her best weapon option, hands down. It has a mediocre fire rate and a low magazine size, but with its high damage and access to magnification sights, I think it makes up for it. This is a really solid option on the attacking side, and it is very beginner friendly due to its low recoil. However, the same can't be said for the AK-74. It is basically the exact opposite of the ARX. It has an incredibly large magazine, but it has a slower fire rate and worse damage. While the magazine may seem appealing, especially considering it is an AR, the DPS trade-off isn't worth it. When using this gun, you will find yourself dying a lot in situations where the ARX would have won you the gunfight. As for her handguns, the PRB is her best option due to its decent damage and capacity. Also, since it doesn't have any magnification sight like Nomad's other option, it makes it much easier to control. As for the 44 Magnum semi-auto, it is a decent pistol. It has high damage but a really low capacity, and also it has the trade-off of having really high recoil. Overall, taking all her guns into account, I think she's worthy of a 5 out of 10 in the loadout category. Now, moving on to her secondary gadgets. Nomad has the choice between flashbangs and breaching charges. Flashbangs are one of the best secondary gadgets on the attacking side. It allows you to burn ADSs and play aggressively on defenders. But her breaching charges are only useful in very niche situations, like for playing vertically. So overall, I'll be giving her a 7 out of 10 in the secondary gadget category. Now for the final category, we have versatility. You likely know what I'm going to say about this already, considering what I said about her gadget, but I think Nomad is likely the most lacking in versatility out of anyone in this video. She doesn't have any utility denial, and her gadget requires a lot of effort to get the most out of. Compare this to Gridlock and Zero, who both bring Gone 6s and excellent utility-oriented secondary gadgets. I just don't think Nomad can compete. Now, Nomad is not at all map dependent, and she is a 2-speed, so I can't put her super low, but she will definitely have the worst versatility rating out of anyone else in this video. So I'll be giving her a 7 out of 10 in the category. Anyways, now that I've wrapped up Nomad, it is now time to discuss Gridlock. Her gadget is the Track Stinger. These devices can be thrown, and once they come in contact with the ground, they will begin to expand into a massive spike field. These spikes will deal damage to defenders when stepped on, and they produce a loud sound. Defenders can destroy them by meleeing, shooting, or exploding them. However, destroying them obviously produces a loud audio cue, and it gives you an ample warning of the flanking defender. This makes them a lot better than air jabs in 99% of situations, because a defender can't just shoot one bullet to get rid of them. Now, outside of their obvious strength in flank watch, another strength of her Track Stingers is their ability to mask the sound of a plant. This is because her Track Stingers produce a loud noise while they're expanding. This in combination with well-placed smoke grenades can allow you to plant without the defenders even knowing. I wouldn't rely on her gadget for this, but if you have some extra in your pocket towards the end of the round, it's not a terrible use case. So considering her Track Stingers are clearly better than air jabs, and she gets more of them, I think Gridlock deserves an 8 out of 10 in the gadget category. Now it is time to move on to Gridlock's loadout. She has a choice between the F590 assault rifle and the M249 SAW as primary options, and the Super Shorty shotgun, SDB 9mm handgun, and the Gone 6 as secondary options. The F90 is a solid primary option with an above average fire rate, moderate damage, and solid mag size, and it has access to magnification sights on top of it. Also, its recoil is super easy to control, so you can't really go wrong when picking it. The M249, on the other hand, is a different story. It has a slow fire rate, slow reload time, and slow ADS speed. The only complementary aspect of this LMG is its high damage and good mag size, but the trade-off compared to the F90 just isn't worth it in most situations. Her secondary options are much better though, with her having a tool for nearly every job. She has the Super Shorty for opening soft surfaces, the STP 9mm for extra fire rate, and the Gon 6 for extra utility. I think you will find that in most situations, you should be running the Gon 6 though, because having the capability to destroy defender utility is incredibly strong. That isn't to say that her other options are bad, because they aren't. The STP handgun is a solid pistol with a decent capacity and high damage output. Also, the Super Shorty is extremely effective at its main task of opening soft surfaces, but they just can't compete with the Gon 6, which is the best secondary in the game hands down. So taking all of this into account, I'll be giving her loadout an 8 out of 10. Anyways, it is now time to discuss her secondary gadget. Gridlock has the choice between impact EMPs, smoke grenades, and breaching charges. The impacts can help her team get an electrified wall open, her smokes can help cover a plant, and her breaching charges can help open up vertical holes or soft surfaces when needed. You really can't go wrong with any of the choices here, and while none of them are the best in the game, she has 3 different options that can cover completely different tasks. I think just because of the sheer amount of options she has, she deserves a 9 out of 10 in this category. Finally, for the versatility category, this is by far the strongest aspect of Gridlock. She can hold off the flank for her team, cover a plant, destroy defender utility, help her team get a wall open, play vertically, and open soft surfaces. You can literally do it all with Gridlock. Depending on what the defenders are running, you can pick and choose what's right for your lineup, and you can shape Gridlock into pretty much any operator you want her to be. And that is why I'm giving her a 10 out of 10 in this category. It is now time to talk about the final operator, Zero. Zero's gadget is the Argus launcher. This launcher shoots deployable cameras that attach to any surface you shoot them on. When deployed, a loud audio cue is made to alert nearby defenders, and a bright green light is emitted from the camera when it's active. One of the strengths of his cameras is that they can drill through soft and reinforced surfaces to peek through the other side of the surface. And with a laser equipped on his cams, you can destroy defender electronic utility with ease. Now, drilling through surfaces does make a loud noise, so you'll need to mask the sound with something else, but if you can pull it off, it can give you a great camera directly into the bomb site. However, this isn't the most common use for his cams. The most common and arguably most effective use for his cams is for flank watch. Your team has a limited number of drones, so you want to save them for clearing rooms, and Zero's cams allow you to do just that. You can shoot them on staircases or hallways to watch your flank, while the rest of your drones can go towards clearing rooms and calling out the location of defenders. Now, for his drones to be effective for flank watch, you or someone else will have to sit on them while everyone else focuses on the bomb site, which does lose him some points compared to Nomad and Gridlock. But I still think with how versatile his cameras are, he deserves an 8 out of 10 in the gadget category. Now we can move on to his loadout. Zero has a choice between the SC3000 assault rifle and the MP7 as primary options, and the 5.7 USG and the Gon 6 as secondary options. The SC3000 is one of the best assault rifles in the game, hands down. It deals a whopping 45 damage, and with extended barrel, it brings it up to 50, which is stupidly high. On top of that, it has a relatively high fire rate, with its only downside being its low mag size. This is by far the best gun in this video, and it is in my top 5 guns in the game right now. As for the MP7, it is also a really good weapon, with it notably being a dominating force on the defensive side. It has a high fire rate, average damage, and a bigger capacity than the SC3000. Then on top of it all, it has a 1.5 on Zero. The MP7 is definitely a solid option, and you can get away with running it. But me personally, I think the SC3000 is much better. Following the MP7, the 5.7 USG, one of his secondary options, is really mediocre. On Zero, it has a built-in suppressor, but its damage is low, and the only redeeming quality of the pistol is its extremely high mag size. It definitely isn't worth running over the Gon 6 in any stretch of the imagination. Taking all of that into account, I'll be giving him a 9 out of 10 in the loadout category. Now to discuss his secondary gadgets. This is likely his weakest category. He has the choice between claymores and hard breach charges. Hard breach charges are definitely the better option for him. They can allow you to open up reinforced hatches with ease, and you can open a small hole in a wall if you need to. However, his claymores are not nearly as good. They are extremely obvious if set up on the flank, and they are only really useful for runouts. So if you want to repel on a window, then picking them might be worth it, but outside of that, you should be running his hard breach charges. Keeping his claymores in mind, Zero will be getting a 6 out of 10 in this category. Now finally, for Zero's strongest aspect, his versatility. Zero can cover a lot of bases for his team, similar to Gridlock. He can watch a flank, gather intel, destroy defender electronics, open reinforced surfaces, and destroy defender hard utility. Being able to do all of this while being a 3-speed with a good gun makes him worthy of a 10 out of 10 in this category, easily. Now the answer to the question you clicked on this video for. Who is the best flank watch operator? Well, let's go to the scores. In the gadget category, Nomad got a score of 7 out of 10, and then Gridlock and Zero tied with a score of 8 out of 10. Then in the loadout category, Nomad got a score of 5 out of 10, Gridlock got a score of 8 out of 10, and Zero got a score of 9 out of 10. Moving to the secondary gadget category, Nomad got a score of 7 out of 10, Gridlock got a score of 9 out of 10, and Zero got a score of 6 out of 10. Now finally, in the versatility category, Nomad got a score of 7 out of 10, and Gridlock and Zero once again tied with a score of 10 out of 10. This means Nomad's overall score is 26 out of 40, Gridlock's is 35 out of 40, and Zero's is 33 out of 40, making Gridlock the winner of this video by just 2 points. And this is their ranking in order. As always, this video is strictly my opinion, and if you disagree, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, I make Siege content just like this twice a week, so go subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter if you don't want to miss the next upload. If you want to watch another video just like this one, a video will be popping up on your screen right now where I compare the trap operators of Rainbow Six Siege. I'll see you next time, friends, and peace.